What's up, guys? It's Mike with Travel Nursing Classroom, bringing you unbiased travel nursing advice about all the important travel nursing topics. Today's no different. We're covering the upfront costs, more specifically 6 upfront costs that you need to be thinking about before you take an assignment. You've got to have some cash upfront. Let's dive right in. I don't like wasting time. So the very first one are reimbursable expenses from your company. So here again, a lot of companies out there are going to let you know, hey, we'll pay for licenses, we'll pay for this, we'll pay for that, we'll pay for whatever, which is true. But one thing that you got to keep in mind is they're not going to pay for it up front. They're going to reimburse you. So you need some cash up front for like licenses, maybe scrubs. If you're going to a hospital that has a certain color of scrubs that you don't currently own, you're going to need to pay for that. You can negotiate with your recruiter and company what they should pay for and what you're going to pay for on your own. But those things right away up front, license and scrubs, are almost for every assignment that you're going to need some cash up front to purchase those items. And then on your first, second, third pay stub, you're going to turn your receipt into the company and they'll reimburse you for those. So you do need some upfront cash. The cheapest license out there is about $50. The most expensive is roughly $400. So there again, you're probably gonna need a couple $100 right there. The second thing, health screening. So a lot of companies out there, and all good companies out there, pay for health screenings, but I have heard of instances where the company puts that on the nurse to actually pay for your own health screenings, like a physical, drug screen, any other appointments or necessary items to get you approved and working on that travel assignment. So there again, it's going to be anywhere from $50 to a couple $100, but it is a little bit of a red flag with that company if you're paying out of pocket for those items. The third thing, this is an obvious one, but you got to decide if you're driving. So your car, it's going to take gas. Is your oil checked? Do you have tire pressure? Pressure in your tire, air in your tires? Either way, make sure you've got your car ready to go. There's going to be an expense there. And obviously flying. And here again, it kind of depends. But if you do decide to fly to your assignment, some companies will pay for those up front for you. But a lot of times you're going to have to buy that plane ticket. You're going to get reimbursed on your first couple paychecks. Moving right along, the fourth one, and here again, kind of an obvious one, but some nurses don't think about this. If it takes you a couple days to get to your assignment, you're going to need to pay for hotels. And here again, most companies are not going to pay for your hotel until you are actually an employee working where they can actually get their money back should things go south. They can actually charge the hospital against your hours that you're currently working. So long story there, but $50 to a few $100 you're going to need for hotels. The fifth one, and this is kind of another obvious one, but food. You got to eat on the road. Pretty simple there, $20 to $50 per day probably. If you can negotiate for your recruiter to pay for that, I have heard of that and I have agreed to that before. So there again, all these items are negotiable with your recruiter. The last one is a very good one, and if you do, it has to do with housing. I do recommend, if you've watched some of my other stuff, finding your own housing in certain instances, but 90% of the time, find your own housing, and when you do that, you're going to need deposit up front a lot of times. There again, depending on if you're getting an apartment, a house, Airbnb, whatever it is, but a cleaning deposit, a pet deposit, just any sort of deposits are typically needed up front. So there again, we just went through 6, 7 items, and at minimum, you're probably going to need a couple $100 to be safe. Make sure you've got $1,000 saved just to get started as a travel nurse so that you can get there without any flaws and then save receipts, and they'll reimburse you on your couple paychecks. So guys, quick reminder, subscribe below so you can not miss out on any of the other travel nursing tips and videos that we go over. And I want to hear from you. I want to hear actually a little bit about your negotiating power. In the comments below, I want to hear from you what you have gotten your companies to pay for. Have you negotiated a certain amount of money for food or a certain amount of money for new Crocs or nursing shoes, whatever they are? But I want to hear from you in the comments. What have you got your recruiters or companies to pay for? Thanks again for watching, guys. Talk to you on the next video.